Welcome, and this is another aspect of finance that's going to be important to us at some point, looking at annual effective rate and its relationship to annual percentage rate. So, annual effective rate is just this definition right here. How much interest did you earn in 1 year divided by the original amount, which we'll call the amount at the beginning of the year? That's important to distinguish. So let's just look at a little example to see how this comes about. So we have an overdue payment of $400. The company that we owe charges 10% compounded monthly. So what we're going to do is look at, well, how much would be due at the end of the year if we let this go for a year? And then what is the amount of interest that's actually earned by the company? So we know that this is just one single deposit. So this is more or less compound interest. So remember that formula, we're going to use that. And we know that we're starting with $400. We know that the interest rate is 10% and it's compounded monthly. And since we're talking about 1 year, we're only ever going to be talking about 1 year with AER because it's an annual rate. We're going to raise that to the 12th, 12 times 1. And when we're done with that, we should get $441.89. So that's how much we'll end up paying back to this company. Now let's just look at this one layer deeper. Let's look at the interest that's earned. And we know that that is just the amount that we pay them back minus the amount that we originally owed. So that's $41.89. And then the EAR we know is the interest that we earned divided by the original amount, which was the 400. And we end up with 0.1047 and a whole bunch of other stuff. So I'm going to say that this is about 10.47%. So even though they're saying that they charge an annual interest rate of 10%, remember that 10% is compounded 12 times a year. So they're going to end up earning a little bit more on their investment, or their past due balance in your case. They're investing in you and they're hoping that you wait forever to pay because then they get more. So they actually earn 10.47%. So here's the thing. Does this change if we change the amount that's overdue? So let's look at $900 instead. So we're still using the compound interest formula. We're just basically mirroring what happened before. So 0.10 over 12 raised to the 12th, and we end up with $994.24. I encourage you to do the calculations along with me. The amount of interest is $994.24. Subtract the original 900. So we paid $94.24 in interest. Now, it makes sense that we pay more interest on a larger amount because the more that's overdue, the more interest that's going to accrue. So then our AER is going to be that $94.24 over the original 900, which lo and behold comes out to be that same 0.1047. So now we're a little suspicious. Turns out it could have been 2,000, it could have been a million, it could have been 5 cents. Regardless of the beginning amount, the AER is always going to be the same for a given APR. So here's a statement we could make. An APR of 10% compounded monthly is equivalent to 10.47% each year. So what that means is if you were to deposit a certain amount into an account and they paid you 10% compounded monthly, if you look at how much you have gained every year, it would be 10.47% of the original every year. So there is a relationship between the interest rate that we compound and the interest rate that we earn every year. And it turns out it's the same regardless of the principal. So here is a formula for that. And if you're interested in learning more about this formula, I'm more than happy to walk through it with you. Basically, it's what happens if you invest $1. So this part right here is what you earn over the course of the year. This is subtracting off your investment, so you're subtracting your $1. And then if you're dividing by $1, well, dividing by 1 is the same as the original amount, so there's no need to do that. So this is our formula. Notice the exponent is k, and that's because if we're talking about 1 year, the k that you use to divide up the interest rate is the same number of times per year. So neat little formula, very useful. Let's look at another example here. So let's say we have a credit card that charges 27% and that APR is compounded monthly. So according to our new nifty formula, we have that. And if we compute that out in decimal form, we're going to get 0.3060499899, which if we round it off to the nearest hundredth of a percent, like is usually done, we could say 30.60%. So naturally, as the interest rates get higher, we start to earn more and more interest on that. So that's how much your credit card companies are earning off of your unpaid balance every year when they say 27% compounded monthly. So I hope that this pulls things together for you, and I thank you for watching, and stay tuned for more.